Good evening and welcome. Tonight we're going to start reading this book. It's called Our World in Pictures, Countries of the World. This book's been on my Amazon wish list, which I have down in the description. I'll eventually purchase all those books in that list, but if you want to donate one of them to me, you can do so there in the wish list, and at the start of each video about that book I'll give you a shout out, but no pressure. Books are never terribly expensive, and yeah, it's just there in case you want to look through and see what's coming up. But anyway, this was one of them, and it's a really cool book. We have this great physical map of the world, and we're going to go through continent by continent and read about every single country in the world. So tonight we're going to start with North America. There it is. North America and all of the countries. Also, this is a pretty big book, so I'll be sliding it around so you can see it all. First, we're going to start with Canada. I like that it has the flag in the corner of each page. Down here we have a description of Canada. It says, as the second largest country on Earth, Canada stretches from the icy Arctic Circle through the snow-capped Rocky Mountains to the grassy plains of the prairies. It has the world's longest coastline and more lakes than any other nation. This vast expanse is divided into 10 provinces and 3 territories. There's some little facts over here about Canada. Geography. 1/3 is frozen land inside the Arctic Circle. Southern Canada has mountains, grasslands, forests, and lakes. History. Canada was officially founded in 1867, although the Inuit people have inhabited it for about 5,000 years. Culture. Despite the cold climate, Canadians love being in the great outdoors, playing sports and going hiking. Natural wonders. From the breathtaking Rocky Mountains to the dramatic Niagara Falls, Canada has spectacular scenery. Wildlife. Canada is home to brown bears, polar bears, seals, caribou, wolves, wolverines, elk, and whales. Food and drink. Most Canadians enjoy a typical Western diet of beef, chicken, fish, dairy products, and vegetables. Let's read some facts about Canada. Let's start up here. It says Beaverland. Beavers live in and around lakes throughout Canada. The beaver's the country's national animal. And here is a 5-cent coin with a beaver on it. Yukon up here. Yukon Territory. Yukon is Canada's smallest and least populated territory with unspoiled mountains and glaciers. Totem poles. Canada is known for its totem poles, hand-carved and decorated with symbols of its indigenous people. They stand as memorials to honor early communities. These totem poles belong to the Kwakwaka'wakw First Nations tribe. Try that again. Kwakwaka'wakw. I assume. Anyway, they are very beautiful. I love the blue color. I love the wings. The top. Here's the Valley of the 10 Peaks, which the map is pointing is right here. 10 majestic mountain peaks tower over Moraine Lake in this scenic spot in Canada's Alberta province. There's Alberta. The North American elk. The elk is one of the largest of all deer species. It lives in large groups in forests. About 1 million elk live in North America. Up here we can see the Inuit people. The indigenous inhabitants of northern Canada, the Inuit, are well adapted to the cold. They often use a sled called a kamutik to travel on snow. Maple leaves. Maple trees grow across Canada. The country produces 75% of the world's maple syrup, made from the tree sap. A maple leaf can be seen on the Canadian national flag, which you can see right here. Ice hockey, my favorite sport. Canada's most popular sport is ice hockey. With 20 Olympic medals, 13 of them gold, Canada is the most successful nation in this sport. Niagara Falls. With a drop of 167 feet, this group of 3 majestic waterfalls is located at the borders of Canada and the U.S. About 30 million tourists visit Niagara Falls every year. And it's right here on the map. Niagara Falls. Some delicious poutine. This dish of French fries covered in cheese curds and gravy started out in Quebec province and is now served throughout the country. This little thing here about Quebec province. You can see there's the city of Quebec and the Quebec province. Quebec province is the largest Canadian province and is home to most French speakers in Canada. Toronto Towers. Canada's largest city sits on the banks of Lake Ontario with a stunning backdrop of high-rise buildings and skyscrapers. There's Toronto right there. Alright. Moving on to the United States of America. There's the flag there. You know, I just washed this sweater. It just hung it up. And my cat's already ruined it somehow. It's just a very staticky sweater, I think. So, apologize for all that. Anyway, let's read about the United States. The United States of America, or U.S., stretches between the east and west coasts of the North American continent. Its 50 states have a diverse range of peoples, landscapes, and cultures. The nation's entertainment industry and Silicon Valley's innovative products are popular around the world. Let's see the facts about it. Here we go. Geography. The Rocky Mountains dominate the west, rising out of the Great Plains. History. Native Americans have lived here for 15,000 years when European settlers arrived in the 17th century. The U.S. was founded in 1776. Culture. This multicultural country celebrates many traditions, including Thanksgiving and Halloween. Our Thanksgiving would have been 2 days ago, the time of posting this, but I'm filming this 4 days before Thanksgiving, right? 3 days now, and I'm so excited. I love Thanksgiving. And Halloween. You know, Halloween's my number one. Thanksgiving's probably number 2. Favorite holiday. Natural wonders. The Grand Canyon in Arizona and the Florida Everglades are examples of the country's natural beauty. Wildlife. Coyotes, cougars, bears, bison, and moose are native to the U.S. Where I live, we call cougars mountain lions. They're also known as pumas. Food and drink. The U.S. is famous for fast foods such as burgers and hot dogs. Let's read some facts about the grizzly bear. The northwestern part of the U.S. is known for wild populations of grizzly bears. They hunt salmon that are swimming upriver. Jump, jump. Here's Hawaii. It says located in the Pacific Ocean, the state of Hawaii is made up of 137 volcanic islands. Exploring space. The American company SpaceX has designed reusable rockets that make sending cargo and people into space more affordable. The Falcon 9 rocket launched astronauts voyaging to the International Space Station in 2020. Here's a ukulele. This stringed instrument from Hawaii can play many styles of music, including jazz. Football. Played since the 1880s, this fast-paced team game is now the most popular sport in the country. I wouldn't call it fast-paced. It is very exciting to watch, but it's not very fast-paced. Iconic landmark. The famous sign overlooks Hollywood, the neighborhood in Los Angeles that is the center of the American film industry. Los Angeles right here. Here's Alaska. The largest state in the U.S. is separated from the rest of the country by Canada. There's the Mount Rushmore National Memorial. Carved into a rock face in Keystone, South Dakota, this national landmark shows the faces of 4 former presidents who made history. The Statue of Liberty. This 305-foot-tall statue in New York Harbor celebrates freedom in the U.S. It was a gift from France. Representing the people. The U.S. is a nation with great diversity. In 2019, Native American Sharice Davids was elected to represent Kansas in Congress, breaking new ground for women of diverse backgrounds in American politics. New York City. This famous city is made up of islands. Manhattan is its cultural center, home to famous sites such as Times Square, Central Park, and the Empire State Building. You can see New York right here on the map. Mardi Gras. The Mardi Gras in New Orleans, the biggest carnival in the U.S., features colorful floats and parades. That's located right here. Moving on to Mexico. Here's the flag, and here's the facts about it. Mexico is the 3rd largest country in North America. Many ancient civilizations established cities here. Now tourists come to visit their ruins as well as the country's magnificent beaches. Let's see. Monarch migration. There's a beautiful monarch butterfly. Every year, millions of monarch butterflies travel more than 3,000 miles from the U.S. to Mexico. Day of the Dead. In this annual festival, families and friends remember loved ones who have died. Altars, prayers, and parades with elaborate costumes and makeup mark the occasion. A Chihuahua. The ancestor of this small dog was first bred in Mexico. It takes its name from the Mexican state of Chihuahua. Market shopping. Across Mexico, the best way to shop for everyday items from fruit and vegetables to clothes is at the local market. Frida Kahlo. The 20th century Mexican painter Frida Kahlo was known for her many self-portraits and works based on Mexican culture. Chichen Itza, which is right here. Chichen Itza. At the center of the ancient Mayan city of Chichen Itza is the Temple of Kukulkan, a monumental step pyramid. Tacos. Yum. A popular food is the traditional taco, a tortilla filled with spicy meat and veggies. Next is Guatemala. The Central American nation of Guatemala is located south of Mexico. It is known for its volcanoes and rainforests and for the remains of the ancient Mayan civilization that can still be found there. Here's Rigoberta Menchú. The human rights activist Rigoberta Menchú has focused on improving the lives of indigenous people and won the Nobel Peace Prize for her achievements in 1992. Guatemala City. The country's capital sits almost 4,920 feet above sea level. At the center of this ancient city lies the cathedral, which has survived many earthquakes. Mayan pottery. The Maya are remembered for their pottery and ceramics, some of which are elaborately decorated. Next we have Belize. Lying on the Caribbean Sea, Belize is a small country on the eastern coast of Central America. It has dense tropical forests and a coral barrier reef, nearly 186 miles long. Here's a black orchid. The national flower of Belize is the black orchid. Native to Central America, this species thrives in tropical jungles and swamplands. Kind of sounds like a cool superhero name, the black orchid. Great blue hole, measuring 984 feet wide and 407 feet deep. This huge marine sinkhole on the Belize Barrier Reef is popular with divers. That's a pretty big blue hole. Garifuna Settlement Day. Celebrated on November 19th, this public holiday marks the arrival of the Afro-Caribbean Garifuna people in Belize on this date in 1832. People parade through the streets making music and dancing. And I'm sure I'm not skipping any pages. Next we have El Salvador. This tiny country is the most densely populated in Central America, with most people living around the Central Lakes. It has more than 20 active volcanoes and often experiences earthquakes. Shelled swimmer. The world's largest turtle, the leatherback, is found off the coast of the country. It is named after the texture of its shell. Chouk dance, I believe that's pronounced. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Originally created to celebrate sugarcane harvests, this lively folk dance is now performed at carnivals. And the Monumento al Divino Salvador del Mundo. The statue of Jesus Christ has stood in San Salvador since 1942. Next we have Costa Rica. Costa Rica is rich in animal life. More than 500,000 species live in the nation's cloud forests, rainforests, mangrove swamps, arid plains, and tropical waters. Wildlife is protected in 1/3 of the country. High and low. Slow-moving sloths live high in the treetops of Costa Rica, while beetles and other bugs scurry around the forest floor. The Boruca people. An indigenous Costa Rican tribe, the Boruca people are known for their skilled carving of traditional wooden devil masks. Isn't that beautifully made? That is really something. Next we have Honduras. Honduras sits between the Caribbean Sea to the north and the Pacific Ocean to the south. To the west of the country lie the ruins of the ancient Mayan city of Copan, which dates back to the 5th century. Here they are, right here, the ruins of Copan. Among the ruins are intricate stone carvings. This one shows the city's 13th ruler. Scarlet macaw. The national bird of Honduras is the scarlet macaw, one of the world's largest parrots. Growing bananas. Bananas have been a major export since the late 19th century, but some banana crops are destroyed by seasonal hurricanes. Next is Nicaragua. This Central American country has a dramatic landscape of volcanoes and lakes. Lake Nicaragua, which covers more than 3,000 square miles, is the largest. Check it out. Here's Ometepe Island. The largest island in Lake Nicaragua, Ometepe has 2 volcanoes, one of which towers over the surrounding waters. Dennis Martinez. One of Nicaragua's best-known athletes is Dennis Martinez, a pitcher in Major League Baseball from the 1970s to 1990s. Nicaraguan coffee. Coffee is one of the most important crops in Nicaragua, where trees grow best in the volcanic highland soils. The seeds of the ripe red fruits are dried and roasted to make coffee. Let's see what's next. We have Panama. There's a fact here about it's black. It says The blue and red represent the country's two main political parties. Known as the Crossroads of the Americas, Panama lies on the strip of land linking Central and South America. An artificial waterway cuts across the country, linking the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Let's check it out. The Panama Canal. The Panama Canal opened in 1914. Some 50 miles long, it allows shipping to avoid the lengthy and dangerous journey around South America. Here it says festive clothing. Girls in Panama are given their first pollera dress at the age of 16. Worn at festivals and celebrations, this decorative dress has colorful embroidery. Next we have the Bahamas. And there's a little fact here about the flag of the Bahamas. It says, black represents the strength of the people of these islands. The Bahamas is a nation of 700 tiny tropical islands in the Caribbean Sea. Only 30 of these islands are inhabited, with most people living on New Providence, the largest island. Let's see, Pirate Haven. It says New Providence was a pirate base in the 17th century. Wait, New Providence is not the largest island. Andros is the largest island. Maybe the largest by population, but anyway, I've already covered the Bahamas on my channel when we talked about it. I did a whole video about Andros Island. It's definite. Anyway, moving on. Island iguana. The Andros or rock iguana is one of 7 iguana species that live in the Bahamas. Here's Jubilant Junkanoo. The people celebrate Junkanoo Festival every Boxing Day and New Year's Day. People dress in colorful costumes and dance through the streets. Hold on, my headphones are falling off. Let me just... There we go. Cuba. Or if you don't know, I have Tourette's, so I've been like twitching and sighing a lot. So my headphones started falling off. Anyway, Cuba. There's a fact here about the flag of Cuba. It says the star symbolizes Cuba's independence from Spain in 1898 and the U.S. in 1902. Cuba is the largest island in the Caribbean Sea. It is also one of the few socialist republics in the world. Tourism and agriculture are its main industries, and sugar, tobacco, and citrus fruits are some of its major exports. Cuban capital. Havana is the biggest city in the Caribbean and a major port. The historic Old Town is very popular with tourists. Look at this colorful snail. Polymeta snails are found only in the forests of Cuba. These vintage cars. For years, the import of cars to Cuba was banned. Many on the streets are vintage American cars used as taxis. Musical culture. From traditional son tunes played on guitars to upbeat Latin rhythms of salsa and rumba, music's a vital part of life in Cuba. Popular sport. Cuba's national sport is baseball, which was introduced to the country in the 1860s by students returning from the U.S. Baseball is played in schools, streets, and stadiums. Sugar country. Cuba's tropical climate is perfect for growing sugarcane, and sugar is one of its major exports. Check out the bee hummingbird. Just 2 inches long, this tiny Cuban hummingbird is the world's smallest bird. And next we have Jamaica. Let's see the fact here about it. Jamaica is the 3rd largest island in the Caribbean, 146 miles long and up to 50 miles wide. With beautiful beaches, tourism is its main industry. Super sprinter. Known as the Lightning Bolt, the Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt is the fastest man on earth. He holds the 100-meter world record with a time of 9.58 seconds. Here's some delicious jerk chicken. A favorite dish in Jamaica is this grilled chicken, which is marinated in a hot spice mix for a fiery flavor. Birthplace of reggae. Reggae is a slow, rhythmic style of music that was born in Jamaica in the 1960s and quickly became popular worldwide. One of its best-known stars was singer and songwriter Bob Marley. Blue Mountains. Clouds of mist hang over Jamaica's longest mountain range. The plantations here produce some of the finest coffee in the world. The Caribbean hermit crab. These land crabs protect their soft bodies with the empty shells of other animals. Jamaican roselle. Known for its health benefits, this flower is used to make sauces, salads, and herbal teas. Girls' education. In the past, many Jamaican girls did not get an education, but now most girls go to school and more than a third enroll in college. Next is Haiti. The Republic of Haiti occupies the western third of the island of Hispaniola. Once a French colony, it gained independence in 1804. Devastated by an earthquake that struck close to the capital, Port-au-Prince, in 2010, this mountainous country is still recovering. There's Port-au-Prince right there. Look at the tap-tap bus. Eye-catching painted buses called tap-taps provide a taxi service for commuters in Port-au-Prince. And here's Citadel of Ferrières, which is located right about here near Cap Haitien. This imposing fortress was built on Haiti's northern coast in the 19th century to protect the newly independent country against French invasion. Next is the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic makes up the eastern part of Hispaniola Island. This country has the Caribbean's tallest mountain, Pico Duarte, and its lowest point, Lake Enriquillo. Dominican Carnival. February is a time for celebration in the Dominican Republic. The annual Carnival sees colorful parades and performances that reflect local traditions. El Limon Waterfall. Surrounded by tropical rainforest, the El Limon near Samana cascades more than 164 feet to a pool popular with swimmers. It's right about there. Very beautiful. Next we have St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts and Nevis are two islands in the eastern Caribbean Sea, separated by a tiny channel of sea known as the Narrows. Black sands found on both islands come from the rocks of Mount Liamuiga, a volcano. Rock carvings. Prehistoric art by the indigenous Kalinago people have been found on rocks on St. Kitts. The calico vine. The evergreen calico vine thrives in St. Kitts' tropical rainforests. It traps insects and releases them covered in pollen. The Brimstone Hill Fortress. Built by Africans enslaved by British settlers, the 18th century Brimstone Hill Fortress in the northwest of St. Kitts overlooks the Caribbean Sea. It was built to defend the island from the French Navy. Next we have Antigua and Barbuda. Two large islands and several smaller ones make up the Caribbean nation of Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua alone has 365 sandy beaches and is a major yachting center. In 2017, Barbuda was badly damaged by powerful Hurricane Irma. Bird Sanctuary. Codrington Lagoon National Park in Barbuda is a natural sanctuary for thousands of frigate birds. It says here the pouch attracts females. Yacht Regatta. The Antigua Classic Yacht Regatta began in 1967 at English Harbor. Today the race attracts many yachts from around the world. Next we have Dominica. The island of Dominica is known as the Nature Isle of the Caribbean. About 2/3 of it is covered in rainforest, which is home to parrots and frogs. Dominica is vulnerable to tropical storms and hurricanes. Boiling lake. A large hot spring forms Boiling Lake, located east of the capital Roseau. Its water is heated by hot steam and gas escaping from under Earth's crust. Whale watching. The warm Caribbean waters off Dominica are a good place to spot whales. More than 10 species of whales are found here, including the sperm whale. Kalinago baskets. Reeds are woven by hand into traditional baskets by the Kalinago people and sold as island crafts. Next is St. Lucia. There's a fact here on the flag. My book almost knocked over my drink cup. It's knocking over my drink cup. There we go. Okay. It's empty. I was drinking some tea, but I still don't want it to fall. There's a fact here about the flag. It says the 2 triangles on the flag symbolize the piton, which we'll talk about down here. St. Lucia is known for tall mountains, volcanic beaches, and coral reefs teeming with life. This island's economy is dependent on tourism, bananas, and coconuts. Bustling city. Castries, the capital of St. Lucia, is a busy port visited by many cruise ships. It is right there. And here are the pitons. You see this up. It's located right here. Gros Piton, the biggest one. Obviously, Gros Piton's the taller of the piton. Towering twin mountains known as the Pitons are a famous natural landmark in St. Lucia. Julian Alfred. In 2018, the young sprinter Julian Alfred became the first athlete from St. Lucia to win a youth Olympic medal. Next we have Barbados. There's a fact here about its flag. The Barbadian flag depicts the trident belonging to Neptune, the Roman god of the sea. Barbados became a British colony in the 17th century and gained independence in 1966. With its white sand beaches and clear turquoise waters, this sunny Caribbean island is a popular tourist destination. I don't know why the car seems so loud tonight as usual. I hope you all don't notice. Everything seems super, doubly loud with my headphones on, so I hope it's not too bothersome. Let me know. Beach life. Palm-fringed beaches and tropical seas attract millions of visitors to Barbados. Global superstar. The Barbados-born pop singer Rihanna has sold millions of records across the world and won 9 Grammy Awards. We love Rihanna on this channel. Barbados Anole. An inhabitant of the island's rainforests, this green lizard blends in with leafy foliage. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which is a fact about its flag too. It says the 3 diamonds in the V shape represent St. Vincent. It says the Caribbean nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is made up of 32 islands. It is known for its volcanoes, waterfalls, and coral reefs. Calypso and reggae music are popular here. Here's the scented frangipani. The sweet-smelling frangipani flower flourishes in the tropical Caribbean climate. Island Hub. The nation's busiest town, Kingstown, has historic buildings with colorful facades and cobbled streets bustling with people. Kingstown right there. What does it say? It's an important port and regular stopping point for cruise ships. Next we have Grenada. Grenada is as famous for its spice production as it is for its scenic beaches. This mountainous tropical country is made up of 1 large island, Grenada, and 6 smaller ones. Fragrant spice. Grenada is one of the world's largest producers of nutmeg. This sweet spice, which features on the left side of the national flag, was introduced to Grenada by traders in 1843. Cascading waterfalls. It's pointing that it's right about here in the middle of Grenada. The Seven Sisters Falls are one of several natural wonders found in the Grand Etang National Park on Grenada Island. And here it talks about St. George's, the capital. It sits on a horseshoe-shaped harbor. And next, and I think last, I'm pretty sure, yeah, because it's just north of South America, is Trinidad and Tobago. Let's see what it says. 2 main islands, Trinidad and Tobago, and several smaller ones make up this Caribbean nation off the northeastern coast of Venezuela. It is rich in natural gas and oil. Seriously spicy. Grown only in Trinidad and Tobago, the sizzling scorpion chili is among the world's hottest peppers. The Coroni Swamp, it just says it's right about there. Many bird species nest in this vast mangrove forest and swampland on Trinidad's western coast. Carnival Spectacle. The annual Trinidad and Tobago Carnival is celebrated in Port of Spain with Caribbean costumes, music, and parades. There's Port of Spain right there, the capital. And that's going to be it for tonight. That is every independent country in North America. So next time we crack open this book, we'll talk about all the countries in South America. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video relaxing and educational. Again, apologies for all this hair on me. Anyway, I really do hope that you liked this video. And I hope that you have a very good night. Good night.